It's time to go ahead and let me teach you, or more importantly, coach you how to start owning your plank. Yeah, a lot of people, can do planks, and I understand that. And recently, planks became a very, very important exercise for me. I started to realize just how much we use a plank in all that we do. Now understand this, that I don't believe your trunk has to stay in an isometric hold position all the time. But what I do believe is there has to be a baseline or a starting point, and you have to have that ownership of that plank before you can move into more advanced exercises, and definitely before you can move into more what we call trunk reaction exercises. So it's become very apparent to me that there are a lot of people that don't own their plank. It's also become apparent to me that there's a lot of people that think they own their plank, but you know what? If they unload it themselves a little bit, they could own their plank even more, and they could go ahead and start teaching themselves how to move out of that plank. However, because the plank is so challenging for them just to hold it, it's very difficult for them to start moving out of it. As a result, when they do start moving out of it, they really just lose their plank and they don't own it anymore. So I want to show you how to go ahead and use bands to assist in not only owning your plank in an isometric position, but owning your plank when you're on the move. I've got my band set up here. You can see I'm just using the door, so that means you can do it anywhere as long as you have a door. I've got a red band here. Now understand, you got to use the band that you need to own your plank. So you're going to probably need maybe an orange or red. You might need the black. Best thing to do is have a single band package so that you can go ahead and have the bands you need. If you're going to go into more advanced plank exercises that are going to require you to have even greater ownership of that plank, you might have to assist it with a bigger band than if you're going ahead and doing just simple isometric planks. So it all depends on how you're going to go ahead and train your plank that day. But let me show you how you're going to set it up. So we got the band utility strap hooked into the top of the door. All right, door is locked. We got the red band coming up, and we're going to position it. Now the key is, where do you position the band on your body? Well, you want to position it right at your ASIS. Now your ASIS are those two small bones right at your hips. So if you place it there, the band will rest on that ASIS. It almost creates a little bit of a hook. So when the tension is on the band around your hip, it hooks onto that ASIS and keeps it nice and solid. Now we're going to position our hands so they're right underneath our shoulders. We're going to position our feet and we're going to go on up. Now that's the traditional extended plank. This is more of the plank we're used to. So it's going to be on your elbows and your toes. So now, can you go ahead, get on your toes, get on your elbows, set your trunk muscle by covering your ribs and squeezing your butt, all right? Lock those knees tight and own that plank right there. Nice job, really own it. Now, there's lots of ways you can start moving out of that. Now, probably the basic one is just to start a simple seesaw, which the TRX people have invented a long time ago. So just a simple seesaw exercise where you're not going to have to pick up any extremity. That would be the first place to go ahead and start. The next place is to go ahead and own your plank maybe in your extended position so you can go ahead and start moving out of that. So let's go ahead, let's drop down, put yourself in this position, own your plank, bows and toes. So you're on those elbows, you're on those toes, and you're just going to do a simple seesaw. You're going to own the plank the whole time. You're going to cover the ribs, not let the low back sag in, and you're going to just oscillate back and forth, owning that plank. Very nice job. Now you're going to walk up, you're going to press up, and you're going to come back down onto those forearms. You're going to press up, and you're going to come back down. This is a nice way to move out of your plank quickly and easily. So once you've got that plank, once you own it, you need to start being able to move out of it. But make your movement very easy, where you're not changing your base of support. You're just simply moving into a different length of that base of support. From there, there's just hundreds of ways to go ahead and start moving out of it. You could go ahead and start doing a mountain climber. So now you're in this position. Own your plank, mountain climber. Now you're changing your base of support. Widen your feet out, stabilize, go into your reach. Own that plank. One of the things you're going to notice is because you're assisting your plank, Now you can really zoom in on, hey, where am I weaker? You know, when I do that arm reach, there's no question when I go to reach my left arm, my trunk is not as strong as when I reach my right arm. Zoom in on that. Challenge that. Really set it. Own your plank before you go to reach that left arm. Hey, set your trunk. Make sure the ribs are closed, the ribs are covered. Make sure the butt's tight. Make sure you're on your toes. Maybe even pushing your toes into the ground a little bit. So you set those external rotators. So you're trying to push the ground apart or pull that paper apart. Set it tight. Get that balance. Pull it apart. Bang. Bring it back home. I can feel a little bit of movement when I'm in there. But you know what? If I wasn't assisting my plank, you know what? I probably couldn't do it very well. Unload yourself. Own your plank first with the assistance. Take the assistance off, make sure you own it, but then come back to the assistance and start working some more advanced drills. It's a great way to start really zooming in and getting that plank solid.